Hi everyone, it's Arlene with Design with Arlene, and today I'm making a card using this soon-to-be retired honeybee stamp set. This is a set of 10 different stamps. It includes sentiments and a couple sizes of bees, cute little bees, as well as some flowers and of course the beehive. So the products that I'm using, I'll get started with showing you the cardstock. This is Pineapple Punch, and I've cut, it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that I cut lengthwise at 4 1/4, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. And then I have a smaller piece of the lovely lipstick, a little bit smaller, and then as well as a little bit smaller as well of the Call Me Clover green. And then I also have a little piece of the Brights. This is from the Brights collection of designer series paper. Again, these are all retired colors, and they are going to be retired, I should say, at the end of May. And then I have another little piece of just a scrap piece of paper of Pineapple Punch. And then I also have a little window sheet. So if you need the dimensions for all of these, please make sure to check out my blog. You can find the link below, and I will have all the dimensions for you. The blueberry bushel and one of the stamps. This is the flower stamp that's in the set. And I'm just going to randomly stamp across the green cardstock. This set has a flower going in one direction and the exact flower going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to just go ahead and use both of those flowers. So let's put this on and then repeat the process of what I did with the first stamp. Next, taking the 2 1/4 inch punch, I'm just going to cut a circle toward the bottom side, right in the middle, toward the bottom, cut out of my green cardstock, and then just go ahead and set that aside. I'm going to be embossing on that, which is why I want to set that aside, just to give more time for this ink to dry. And then taking the designer series paper in Memento black ink, stamp some bees across there. So I'm taking the smaller bee out of the set and just randomly stamping the bee onto this designer series paper, and kind of focusing more on the middle because it's going to be showing through our circle like this. Maybe one more. Okay. And then we'll set that aside, and go back to the blue ink and using the stamp, which is the little hello stamp. I'm stamping just a little hello, and this is going to be toward the bottom because I'm going to be punching this out. So go ahead and stamp that toward the bottom so that we can get our punch, which is the classic label punch, and punching this out. Now what I want to do is I want to position my punch so that the hello is on one end or the other, okay? So this makes it nice so that you can get it nice and centered if you stamp first before punching it out. And then once I have this, what I want to do is just make this a little bit smaller. And so I'm going to bring in the piece that I've already punched out and bring it back into the label punch and just kind of line it up there best you can. There's always this, if you have a little extra, just take your scissors and trim that off. So that kind of gives it a different look to it. So different look for the same punch that you can use. So more options for your punch. So now this is dried up fairly well. I'm going to take this curved stamp from the set that says wishing you sunshine and happiness. And what I want to do is I'm going to be embossing it. So first, and this is an important part, is take that embossing buddy and just rub it over the paper that you've already inked on. And this helps to keep the excess stamping or embossing powder that you don't want sticking onto your paper. So it helps to keep it from sticking. And then just taking the Versamark ink ink that up. Now what I've also done, this is a stamp that, because it is more narrow and it's curved, you can make it arch. You can make it either kind of go in a little bit or go out a little bit. And I've actually pulled it out just slightly out, so that way it will wrap around my outside of the circle punch that I've punched. Okay. And then again, let's take some embossing powder. I don't know what got into my embossing powder, but okay, now you can see how much better that turned out, right? And that way, this makes it a lot easier to just, with that little part that you got, that the rubber got caught on there, you just whisk that off with a little brush. And then next, what we need to do, because we have to be really careful at this point, but once we add heat to it with an embossing tool, you'll see that it's just going to melt and it will stay on there, and then it's permanent. It won't wipe off. Okay, ready to go there. When I first started stamping years and years ago, I would actually use a skillet or the backside of an iron. That used to be more of a thing before. This was when stamping and embossing was just getting started. All right, and the next thing that I want to do is we're going to put our card together now. So have all of your components ready to go. Okay. We've got the lovely lipstick here. And we've got the window sheet. Now I'm going to bring in these are some foam, some adhesive strips. So they have adhesive on both sides, and also some Tombow glue. And I'm going to glue my little window sheet here to the back side of the green cardstock. These are clingy, they're staticky, so they're gonna stick. This is another area where once this is glued down, go ahead and just kind of add your embossing buddy over that window cling sheet. Okay. It's going in the middle, but I wanna wipe the sides of it where I want to apply my adhesive strip. Okay, so I'll just pull that, and this will go around on top of the window sheet using the hole punch circle as your guide. It's just going to go completely around. And then you'll just snip off any excess that you have. But you're trying to make that as complete of a circle as you can. Next, you're going to have some kind of a filler. So I've got these Peaceful Poppy sequins, which is another, sad to say, this is another retiring product. And you just need a few of them. You really don't need a lot. My first card I made, I think I put too much in, so they kind of like to stick there. But they're fun. Okay. And then you're going to remove that backing paper from your adhesive strip. And then our Brights Designer Series paper that I stamped with the bees, just going to place that upside down on top, so with your stamped image facing down, on top of that adhesive back, or the foam strips. Okay. And then with your foam strips again, you'll want to just run some of them across. So you can just, you can just take some strips. So you want to make sure this is going to be popped up. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the lovely lipstick piece adhered to our yellow card base. We go. And then we'll just remove the little backing from our foam strips. And then we'll layer it onto our lovely lipstick layer. Okay. And then we've got our little hello saying here. And just add a little bit of glue. So it's right there. And then the last thing that I want to do with this is to add some, or a little bit of ribbon. So I've tied a ribbon. This is actually the Daffodil Delight, the ruched ribbon that we have, but it works well, I think. And I'm going to take a glue dot and let's put that right there, right above the saying. This is a shaker card, and you can see, so they move around. You don't put a lot on there. That way they can move around a little bit easier. And with the little saying and a little bit of ribbon and the beautiful stamp set, which is a retired one, which is the honeybee. Again, I'll have all the dimensions and the directions and places where you can go if you would like to order this before it's retired. It will be on my blog, but I will put the link down below in the description box. Thanks you guys for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and I will see you soon. Bye.